guys, Thogden here, and welcome back to the round of 16 predictions. Second leg, we've got Thogdad. How are we doing?
Brilliant. I love this tournament, Theo.
Well, we've got 8 games to decide, the final 8 on their road to Wembley. Wembley is the famous Bold Wanderers, and we'll go to Wembley. Which game are we starting with?
Let's start with
Bayern.
Bayern.
Whoa. We can't start without giving something away from the setup. What do you like here, Dad?
Well, I love it all, but you know what? We've got 2 of these balls. Come on.
Official Champions League final ball.
That is worth a few quid, that is.
All you have to do to win this ball is go follow my new Twitch account. I'm going to be streaming after every big trip I do from now on. Send me a screenshot, wherever, Instagram, YouTube comments, let me know. Boom, win the ball.
Less of the waffle, Theo. Bayern Munich against Lazio, and in the first leg,
Yes.
it was 1-0 to Lazio. Upamecano sent off Immobile from the penalty spot. It's all going wrong for the 6 times winners of this tournament, isn't it, Theo?
I just can't call this game because Bayern Munich, what are they doing at the moment, Dad? Their form is awful. Last match out, Freiburg away, they drew 2-2. It's not a bad result. Freiburg are a decent team. They've just given Eric Dyer a contract extension when I thought the news is they thought he was too slow. It just seems a mess right now. Harry Kane does look like he's going to win Bundesliga top goal scorer, but the trophy is a Gunners sign. It's literally an Arsenal Gunners trophy. We'll go through that Lazio team though, Dad. They've never won an away match in Germany from 4 attempts. That's what lets them down, isn't it?
It is, Theo. Drawn 2 and lost 2 out of 4. But you look at the team, I think it's a little bit threadbare. You've got the likes of Kamada, haven't you, Theo, and Guendouzi. So you've got players that you know.
After winning the first leg too, they're good at advancing to the final round because they've won this on 12 of the last 13 occasions. So to bottle it, I mean, they've not played a team like Bayern Munich at this stage yet, but it's going to be difficult. They could be the first team since Real Madrid in the 16-17 season, which was just a prime Real Madrid team all over the pitch, to actually beat Bayern home and away in the Champions League. My score prediction is Bayern 3, Lazio 1. I think both teams will score, but on aggregate, it's going to end 3-2 to the Bavarians. They'll find a way to get the job done.
And I kind of agree with you. Despite everything that's going on in the league, I think this will be Bayern Munich 2, Lazio 0.
And I said it last time and I was wrong, but this time, Harry Kane brace. He has to do it.
Real Sociedad against Paris Saint-Germain. PSG won 2-0 in the first leg, didn't they?
Yes.
Theo? Goals from Mbappe, of course. And Barcola, that was his debut goal in this tournament. Surely the Parisians win this.
Well, the problem is, since the first leg, Kylian Mbappe at half-time gets pulled off in the PSG game and he goes up to the stand, sits next to his mum instead of being on the bench. He doesn't really care. He's bigger than the club and you feel that aura about him. Now the question is his mind on Madrid already with him joining at the start of the summer, or will he be focused on bringing PSG some European trophies that he's never been able to do in his whole career? And that's probably the reason he's actually leaving.
Well, first of all, Theo, what is wrong with sitting with your mum in a football ground?
Well, at half-time, if you get pulled off, you go walk to the bench.
Yeah.
You don't walk into the stands. Who does that?
No, fair enough there. PSG, the last 2 seasons running, they've gone out at this stage. But my feeling is a 2-goal deficit. That's too much for Sociedad.
Yeah, it might be, but at home in Spain, magical things can happen.
Well, if you look at the last 12 games that PSG have played in this country, they've only won 2 times. But you know what? I nearly went 1-1 with this one, but I feel that PSG have got something more than that. They're going to win this 2-1.
This is the part of the Champions League where everybody seems to see PSG get knocked out. It's happened 5 of their last 7 Champions League campaigns. Round of 16, second leg, gone. Now, Sociedad's form is very different in the Champions League group stage as it is to Spain. I think they get something from this. They will score, but the game will be done when PSG get an away goal.
Right.
And when it gets to 1-1 and the aggregate score is 3-1, it will be too much. So I think full-time 1-1, sending the Parisians through to the next round. Manchester City now versus Copenhagen.
Theo, first of all, I do that bit. And secondly, wait a minute. There's somebody there who hasn't pressed the like button. Have a look, just there.
Fuck, Dad, what? You're,
Oh, no, they pressed it now. That's good.
Okay, you do the intro then, you man. Go on.
Manchester City against Copenhagen was 3-1 to Manchester City in the first leg, Theo. And surely Manchester City will progress here. Because in that first leg, Foden was amazing. Bernardo, KDB, these players just took the game by the scruff of the neck.
Manchester City are favourites to win the whole competition. And you know what? Copenhagen were out this tournament as soon as the dice was thrown. You get Man City, it's just like, good luck. You can look for Haaland and De Bruyne for big moments, but now we're talking about Phil Foden on that level. I've always backed my boy Phil Foden. He actually I'm going to show you something really cool. 38 minutes ago, Phil Foden sent me a heart message just because I tagged him on my story, said he did well in the Manchester derby.
Wow, and 39 minutes ago, Phil Foden's mum offered me out in a fight.
Wait, what?
Shocking behaviour. But Theo, let's talk about Manchester
Why have
City
you done this?
because they have won 9 games in a
Yes.
row in the Champions League. That is an English record. They're chasing Bayern Munich's 15 in a row.
29 European matches unbeaten at the Etihad Stadium.
Yeah.
Talk about Champions League form. That is incredible. They're going to probably play a lot of the team that didn't get so many minutes in the Manchester derby, like Julian Alvarez, Oscar Bob might get some game time. I'd like to see more from Rico Lewis. I think Akanji will probably join their defence. But even those players we're talking about, they have high ability and they want to fight to get into that first 11 under Pep.
You look at that Copenhagen team, they've never beat Man City.
No.
They've never won in England, Theo. They're doing badly in a league. This could be a cricket score. So it all comes down to that starting 11. Now, the likes of Erling Haaland would want to play here and score goals.
I'm going to say 3-0.
I predict that Copenhagen will get smashed, and I can't think of a third word. Can you think of a third word?
Probably smashed, yeah.
Smashed. It's going to be 3-0. Real Madrid against RB Leipzig, Theo. It was 1-0 in the first leg. You've got the 14 times winners against the newcomers from Germany. And I want to ask you, Brahim Diaz, did you see that incredible goal in the first leg?
Yeah, that goal separated the two teams, and what a finish it was. Now, I've always watched Brahim Diaz, even from his AC Milan days, and I never thought we'd see a player as good as we do now. It shows you that when managers keep faith in players that have potential, they can reap the rewards.
Yes.
I never thought we'd see a player that good turn out to be. I must say that Leipzig were very unfortunate to remove their goal from VAR in the first game. They scored a completely normal goal, and apparently the goalkeeper's view was blocked, or someone pushed the keeper, Lunin. I don't really get it. It should be 1-1, but it's not. And going back to the Bernabeu with a 1-0 goal deficit, it's basically impossible.
Now, when Real Madrid are winning after the first leg, 19 times out of 20, they win the whole thing. That is the stat. And they've also won 7 out of 7 games in the UCL this season. It could be a walkover, couldn't it?
Los Blancos haven't lost a UCL fixture since Chelsea in April 2022. I was there, and Real Madrid still went through. Only doubt in my mind is after that Valencia game. Did you see what happened, Dad? Bellingham scores a header, but as the ball's crossed in, the referee blows his whistle for full time. So they run off thinking 3-2 win, get in. The referee said, no, I blew my whistle before the ball entered the net. You're not having the goal. You're only getting 1 point from this game. Everybody got mad. From my perspective, it shouldn't be a goal. But the referee called for full time at the wrong time. It's bad refereeing, but the goal should never stand. Well, Leipzig recently, they were 1-0 down to Bochum, and they came back to win 4-1. And off the bench, it was Openda, Yusuf Poulsen, who both got the goals. Xavi Simons as well, recently, Dad, the last 3 games, he's got 2 contributions. The 20-year-old is one of the most hyped-up wonder kids in the world. And actually, Leipzig are helping him thrive.
I think this will be easy for Real Madrid, Theo. I'm going for a 2-0 win, which will allow Leipzig to focus on the league. They need to get that 4th place. They're in a right battle with Borussia Dortmund.
I think this ends Real Madrid 3, Leipzig 1. On aggregate, that's 4-1. I'm sorry.
Arsenal against FC Porto, and the Portuguese got a winner in the 94th minute in the first leg, Galeno, Theo. And I tell you what, Arteta was so annoyed with his team, he gave them a right bollocking in the dressing room, and he said, you're not flying home tonight, we're staying here in Porto, you're training tomorrow, and then we fly back. He was furious.
Yeah, a lot of managers, you'd think when you've just won 4-1, 5-0, 6-0, that's actually their last 3 games outside of this match, that they would allow their team to have a day off, especially in the first leg where they can bring it back in the second.
Yes.
But clearly Mikel Arteta wants perfection, doesn't he?
He does, Theo. He's a brilliant manager. Absolutely love the guy. 6 wins in a row, I believe it is, in the Premier League. But that counts for nothing, Theo, if you're going out of the Champions League at this point.
Arsenal's form at Emirates this season. In the Premier League, for example, 10 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss. I am so sure that they win this game and they go on to knock Porto out.
They have to go on the front foot from the first minute. No tippy-tappy passing it around in midfield. You need to go straight at Porto. You need to be 2-0 up at half-time, and I think they will.
Porto recently just smashed their rivals Benfica 5-0, Derby Day, cleared out, even though they're like 6 points ahead of them in the title race.
Yes.
And it's the Brazilian Galeno. He scored the winner against Arsenal and then scored a brace against Benfica.
He is a very good player, Theo. But you know, Porto, they're very much a home team. I think they're going to be blown away by a magnificent Arsenal team. I'm going to go with a 3-1 win.
I'm going to go Arsenal 2, Porto 1, which takes the game to extra time. And I think Arsenal are going to score in extra time. Won't go penalties. They'll put the pressure on. They'll win 3-1, making it 3-2 on aggregate. Late scenes at the Emirates. I can imagine the roof just flying off.
FC Barcelona against Napoli was 1-1 in the first leg. Theo, goals from Lewandowski and Osimhen. Those are 2 great names in European football. This is a hard one to call.
It is. Napoli recently have been on top form. Barcelona playing outside of the Nou Camp, so second legs in the Champions League aren't quite the same feeling, are they?
That is true, but now the thing about Barcelona, everyone is talking about their woes. They're third in the league, but 13 points in the last 5 games.
I know. João Felix and Rafinha, I watched them two in their 4-0 home win last out against Getafe. They were both brilliant and they got goals. If Lewandowski wants to make this his own game, that as a front three should do enough damage to win.
Gundogan seemed to have a good game in the first leg, so there's a lot of quality in that Barcelona team.
Yeah, I think Barcelona have a great chance, but we can't write off Napoli, Dad. Have you seen their recent form? It seems like they're finally understanding Francesco Calzone's tactics. If they can win the Serie A when nobody believed it, against all the odds, they can go on a dark horse story in the Champions League. And right now, I think they've just hit form. Wow. I think they have. They just beat Juventus at home 2-1. Every task they've cleared out is going to be 1-1 in normal time. There'll be no goals in extra time. Napoli will knock Barcelona out on penalties.
Wow, I'm going to do the shocked YouTube face here, Theo. Because that won't happen. It's going to be 2-0 to Barcelona. Atletico Madrid against Inter Milan is such a wonderful tie that we are wearing the shirts. Now, It was my Inter Milan that went 1-0 up in the first leg. Arnautovic there, remember him? Stoke player, I know.
Talking about throwbacks, this Atleti shirt is iconic to me. It's got my name on the back. The club gave me this shirt when I went to visit them. The first European team I ever travelled to, thanks to you, was Atletico Madrid against Bolton.
That trip 17 years ago is so important that he's still got the scar.
That scar bleeds Rocky Blancos, okay? As much as they can't deal with Arnautovic, they couldn't deal with me either. I'm a nutty geezer. Now the second leg. 1-0 down, Inter, flying in Syria. I think they're 10 points clear of that table. They'll probably shift over to the Champions League and fully focus on that. We've got Barella's signed shirt on the wall there.
Wow.
Absolute hero. He's been unbelievable, hasn't he?
He has, and Lautaro Martinez too. I think 23 goals in the league this season. He's a wonderful football player.
Inzaghi has just worked it out. People had their doubts when he first joined, but he has his tactics, and genuinely, nobody can stop him right now. And I don't think it'll be Atleti. I know it's difficult. Only 1 goal difference, and Diego Simeone at home is very good form. He can batter teams. I just think Inter are a great block. Defensively, they'll get the job done.
This could easily be a 0-0, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Theo? But you look at your team, your Atletico Madrid team, Morata, Griezmann, they've both got 5 goals in this tournament. We know they can score a goal.
And even Memphis Depay.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about him. My score prediction is not going to be a 0-0. I think there'll be 3 goals in this game. Atleti 1, Inter 2, which means 3-1 to the away side. On aggregate, the Italians make it through again to another round.
Well, you know, Theo, as a Bolton fan, I prefer a pasty to a Memphis Depay.
Ignore his bad jokes and don't forget about the giveaway.
I can't believe he's giving away the scenery. But
we're taking over Twitch.
Let's get to a result. It's going to be low scoring this. Could be 1-0, 0-0. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, which means Inter Milan
go through. We agree.
And last but not least, Borussia Dortmund against PSV Eindhoven. It was 1-1 in the first leg. Goals from Marlon and that man. Tell me who.
Oh, it was Luke de Jong.
How many goals is he scoring this season?
Dad, I think you could score goals in a number 9 team that's attacking in Eredivisie. The difference of class between the best and the worst in that league is atrocious.
But you know what,
Having said that, they're 10 points clear of the league. They're going to win it. They're doing very well. So let's give them respect.
But you know what, Theo? I don't care what you think about this game, because what I really care about, the German thogdad, Oliver. What does he think?
You got his prediction, and let's see.
So, hello from Dortmund. PSV Eindhoven. And PSV is still unbeaten in the Dutch league. 24 matches without a loss. So this is really a tough opponent, and just 1 loss in the this year UEFA competition in the Champions League versus Arsenal, and it's a tough one. I think my prediction is Dortmund 1, PSV 0, and we go through to the next round. So
that is amazing. He's confident. Now, I've seen a lot of Dortmund fans very angry with UEFA with some of the decisions that they've had in Champions League knockout matches over the year. A lot of them involving Mats Hummels, funnily enough, and another one happened at PSV away, Dad. Was it a penalty, yes or no?
I thought that was very harsh, Theo. I thought Hummels got the ball first and it shouldn't have counted, but that's the past. It has happened. It's very evenly poised. Now, you tell me about Borussia Dortmund this season. I'm not really convinced.
Yeah, it's difficult to know. They've had a couple new additions. Ian Maatsen scored in his last game, and he's been doing a job at left back, even sometimes further up the field, from Burnley and Chelsea previously. And then there's Jadon Sancho. We all know about him.
Yeah.
He's trying to re-find his form.
Yes.
He made his name at Dortmund. He wants to make his name again there, because Manchester United was a very difficult patch. He hasn't scored yet. Could you imagine he did it? in a Champions League second leg home game against PSV. I've got a funny feeling he might just do that.
Well, that's interesting, but PSV in the league this season, 21 wins, 2 draws, no defeats, goal difference of 66. What happens to opposition teams? They get smashed, and then smashed, don't they, Theo? But I reckon this is going to be Borussia Dortmund 2, PSV 1. Ooh. One goal is going to decide this.
I agree with the Dortmund 2, but I disagree. I think PSV will end 0. I will probably be at this match as well, so big shout out to all the Dortmund fans. Love the club, love everything they stand for. See you there. And remember, go follow the Twitch, send me a screenshot on Instagram and comment down below that you've done it. I'm going to be writing out to somebody to send this Champions League final match ball official to somebody. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the Champions League, whether it's this week or next week. It's the greatest tournament in the world. Bye-bye.